I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never.
Hello lovers, welcome back to Hugs and Medleys. Hugs and Medleys is our marriage relationship convo channel, okay? And so today we are going to be talking about a topic I like to call how to overcome marriage insecurity without necessarily acting like a detective. Now, when it comes to marriage, I saw a post the other day where a lady is saying that if you encourage women to get married, you're basically sending them to their early grave. Well, that is the societal narrative or the social media narrative. One thing that we must understand is that marriage is a beautiful, very, very beautiful thing. It assures you of, companionship, especially when you get an amazing spouse, okay? And getting an amazing spouse is not all that there is to it. Is, getting married and, doing everything that is within your power to ensure that the marriage stays. It's so challenging. And especially living in a society where women would struggle and do so much to ensure that the marriage lasts. The reason is because if it doesn't last, the blame all goes to the women. And I will say one thing here, I have always said it, that do not stay in a marriage, an abusive marriage. Your life is more better than whatever anybody has to say, okay? Now, one of the best ways to overcome marriage insecurities is to, build yourself up as a woman, okay? I want to believe that the reason why a lot of men snoop around, one of the things that hurts relationships so much, especially marriage, is this behavior where sometimes we begin to act as if we are detective. You want to check your husband's phone, you want to look at the people he is talking to. Sometimes some women go as far as calling those women kind of asking them questions that will ignite a lot of problems. By so doing, your husband comes back home getting really upset with you and all of that. Now, if you want to check critically, women who do this are women who don't have what to do. Most of these women are idle. They are just homemakers, and they sit back there, they take care of the children, and they don't have any other thing to do. Most of them don't even have handwork. And even I do know, I didn't say all of them, but I am saying majority of them are women who are just sitting back at home and taking care of the kids, and that's all there is to do for them, and there is nothing else to do. No added value to your life as a woman, and that is the reason why you sit back. The only thing you're interested in is who your husband is seeing outside. Now, if you find out you are a woman who is dealing with insecurity in your marriage, you want to write it in bold letters in your consciousness that there isn't any perfect marriage in the world. You have a right to feel insecure, especially if you have not empowered yourself so much. A lot of women who are nursing children these days, all they do during the day, they are watching either Z-Wall or they are watching Telemundo. Now, Telemundo and Z-Wall is not going to add value to you. And most times the men come back home and they begin to complain, or you tell them you're nursing children. Meanwhile, you have more than enough time to empower yourself. Today, with the advent of technology and social media, information is out there in the public domain. You want to empower yourself, buy data and begin to think of how to grow yourself, learn some skills, empower yourself. That way it will help build your own personal confidence. And if you empower yourself to a point where you begin to generate your own resources, which may not necessarily be the case, but you empower yourself to a point where you begin to develop confidence in yourself, you find out that you will be less bothered about who your husband is talking to and who your husband is not talking to out there. Now, before I leave today, I'm going to just give you 2 points. Things that you need to know and do if you are in a marriage where you have insecurity problem. You need to understand that you must create a safe space for communication, transparency in communication. Now, if your husband or your wife feels safe to talk to you, they will not have the need to talk to another woman out there. I do know that we have some men that no matter what you do, there is nothing you can do to change them. And that is why you have to empower yourself so that you will be self-sufficient, and so that you will pay more attention in taking care of yourself, the way you look, and the value you bring to yourself, the value that you bring to the home, and the value that you bring to all the children. By the time you are that busy, you will not bother who your husband is talking to, or your wife, or who your husband is not talking to. Then secondly, you need to respect boundaries. Now, as a wife, it's important to understand that, a man doesn't write his life out together with the marriage vows. A man still have a life. Like, before you met that man, the man had a life. And while you're in the man's life, the man still has a life. His work life, his, I want to say, if he's got friends, families, and all of that. You don't want to be in a place where you begin to act like a dictative. A man cannot talk to his friends. A man cannot talk to his siblings. A man cannot talk to his family. A man cannot talk to his mother. A woman who carried the same man for 9 months nurtured that man and cared for that man, and the man became a man today because the man met you, an individual. That man has no right to relate to the same family anymore. Now, if you have that kind of thought process, you find out that you're going to struggle in that marriage. These days, men are not the way they used to be. Men are very knowledgeable of the fact that, sometimes if you're not careful, some women will ruin you. And just as women know that, if you're not careful, some men will ruin you. So people are beginning to be very conscious of their relationships and all of that. You want to be in a relationship, you must be open-minded. You must allow your husband to have that freedom. And how do you allow your husband have freedom? You allow your husband have freedom by focusing on yourself. One of the greatest things that you can do for yourself is to empower yourself, to be strong. And you need to be strong both physically, you need to be strong mentally, you need to be strong psychologically, and you need to be strong, if possible, be strong financially as a woman. Now, sometimes it is not easy to build, our financial muscle. It comes as in one day at a time. We begin to build gradually. You want to begin to build. And now, when I say you should be strong financially, I am not saying you should put it on the face of your husband. And when you make just $1 million or few amount of money, you begin to rub it off on him. I am saying build yourself. Basically, what I am saying is to build yourself takes so much time. You have to have a target. You have to have a goal that you want to achieve within a limited time frame. Okay? Now, if you have children already, you are trying to build yourself. It's so time consuming. You find out that you will not have the time to want to snoop around to see who your husband is talking to and who your husband is not talking to, therefore causing problems that has the capacity of ruining your marriage. Like I said earlier, the fact that a man is married to you does not mean that man has to write off his life together with the marriage vows. And today, men know about it. You want to focus on yourself. Think of how to grow yourself, because when you grow yourself, you will develop confidence and you find out that that man will continue to love, respect, and handle you with care. Now, conclusively, it's important to understand that snooping around may bring momentary answers, but it does not solve deep-rooted problems. Trust, transparency, respect, and emotional intimacy is the game that you need to bring on the table to solve your marital issues. And you also want to be steadfast in prayers. You want to be, objective in your perception about life. And you want to be very realistic with your thought. Because most times we do stuff that, as women, we tend to do reprehensible stuff. By the way we speak to our spouses, the things that we say, that kind of break down their ego and everything. And at the end of the day, when that relationship packs up, you now begin to look for who to go to, people who would deceive you and tell you that the reason why the man is no longer there is because of the other woman outside. See, life is somewhat really challenging these days. People want to go where there will be peace, okay? Where they can find peace. Women want to go where they can find peace. Men want to go where they can find peace. If you are full of toxicity and you expect that the man is just going to write off his life by, stay with you and develop some kind of mental health challenge that might plunge him into untimely, passage, most men don't sign up for that anymore. They will not want to do it. Now, if you are a young girl, you are a young woman who is planning on getting married, I don't know that there are a lot of women who have, sacrificed so much to make their marriage work. And, things happen. The men win. The men did not see their sacrifices and all of that. But I want to tell you that there are still some good men out there. And I will continue to say this. If you find yourself in a relationship that, there is emotional abuse, physical abuse, I will not stay myself, and I do not expect you to stay. But ultimately, if you want to stay in a marriage, you must be very careful, and you must be willing to put in the hard work to make it what you want it to be. Now, if you think this has brought you some kind of value, please subscribe, share my videos, turn on the post notification bell so that when I upload a video, you get to see it. And do not forget, to give this very video a thumbs up. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you.